This lesson is on factoring expressions. Factoring is when you're looking for the terms that you can multiply to give you a given number. So if we had a number like 12 and I wanted to factor it, I can have 3 times 4. I can also have 6 times 2. And I can also have 1 times 12. That's if we're factoring numbers. In this case, we're going to be factoring expressions. Last class, we learned how to expand expressions when we had a number outside a set of parentheses, like 3, parentheses 2x minus 4, and we used our distributive property to determine the number, what would be to multiply it. 3 times 2x would be 6x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So this was expanding using our distributive property. Now we're going to be going the opposite way. And in order to do that, that is called factoring. We have to fill in the blank. So here we leading into the factoring process. We have 6x plus 4 equals some number times 3x plus 2. I know that in order to get the 3x to be 6x, I'm going to have to multiply it by 2. So I'm going to have the 2 on the outside. And I can check by distributing. 3 times 2x is 6x. 2 times 2 is 4. So it's 6x plus 4. Fill in the blank again. 12x plus 8y minus 16 equals some number times 3x plus 2y minus 4. 3x to get to 12x, I know I have to multiply by 4. So I'm going to distribute and see if that works for all of my terms. So 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times positive 2y is positive 8y. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Now we have to factor the expression without having what's inside the parentheses. When we're factoring the expression, we're always going to factor out the GCF, or the greatest common factor. So I have to find the greatest common factor between 24, 18, and 12. My GCF there is going to be 6. So the 6 is going to be the number outside my parentheses, and now I have to determine what goes inside the parentheses. In order to do that, I'm going to divide each term by my GCF. 24x divided by 6 is going to give us 4x. Negative 18 divided by 6 is negative 3. Negative 12y divided by 6 is a negative 2y. So this would be my factored expression. And again, if you'd like to check, just distribute and make sure it matches to your original problem. 6 times 4x is 24x. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12y. Factor this expression. Same thing, we're going to look for our GCF. Our GCF, we're 4 and 28. We could just look at the numbers, is 4. Now this is a key part to remember. Here, our leading coefficient was a negative. If the first term is negative and you're factoring, you're going to make your GCF negative as well. So we're going to have a negative 4 outside our parentheses. That's what we're going to be factoring out. So I'm going to divide both of these terms now by negative 4. Negative 4x divided by negative 4 is just x. Negative 28 divided by negative 4 is a positive 7. So my factored expression would be negative 4 parentheses x plus 7. Write an expression for the length and width of the pool if the area is 4x plus 20. For this rectangular pool, the area formula is length times width. And they tell us that the area is 4x plus 20. So in order to turn that 4x plus 20 into two things being multiplied, two terms being multiplied, I'm going to have to factor it. So my GCF of 4 and 20 is 4. So I'm going to have 4, and then in parentheses, divide each one by 4. 4x divided by 4 is x. 20 divided by 4 is a positive 5. So that means that my length times width can be equal to 4 times x plus 5. So those are the possible dimensions for this pool.